Hi, in this video today what we are going to learn is how to sew a button. There are different type of buttons. There are buttons that come with a shank already, that is already built in, and we have the traditional 4 holes and 2 holes over here. So for those over here we need to build a shank, so that way it makes it easier for when you go through the buttonholes. So we have some thread. I like to use the all-purpose thread for these type of button. If we were to put that on jeans where it's sturdier, there is thread specific for buttons. But when it's something a little bit more delicate, I like to use more like an all-purpose thread. So I'm using red thread right now in darker color to make it easier to see. So what I like to do, I already cut a piece of thread, and what I'm ready right now, I'm just putting the two hands together over here, and that way my thread is folded in half. So when it's put together, it's going to give me 4 pieces of thread. So I like to do that because I like to save time and make it faster for when you sew button and less boring. So here we go. I put the 2 holes, the 2 pieces of thread into the hole. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a knot. So there we go. I'm just going to make a knot. Makes it nice, a lot of thread. I have a nice, strong, sturdy thread, and I just cut it. Close, but not too close, because if you cut it too close over here, the knot is going to get undone, and then you have to start over, and that is not fun. So, what you have to do on the wrong side of the fabric of where you want the buttons, I like to go a little bit over here, taking a little bit of thread of the fabric and going through. And this one, it's a knit fabric, but it doesn't matter if it's a knit fabric or not, any type of fabric. What I like to do, I like to reinforce that. I don't really trust a knot. Sometimes the knot goes to the fabric. So to prevent that, what I like to do, I like to go in between here. Okay, I don't know if you can see well over here. I like to go just in between. And there I go and pull it. So then I can just go through all the fabric and go on the right side where I want to put my button and go all the way through. Make sure that it's all nice and clean. There is no lumpiness or thread that is left there. So this over here, and then I'm going to do this one over here. So I start like that, and you can either go and do crisscross when you put it on, or just straight over and then straight over. So let's just do straight over for this one. And you want to go at the same distance as the buttonholes are. Okay, nice and straight. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put, I have this piece of Q-tips over here, Q-tip, a toothpick. I'm just going to put under. That is going to raise my button over here. That is going to help me to create a shank like that. But not exactly the same, but just to give the idea. So I like to put a toothpick there. Why a toothpick? It's nice and easy. It doesn't slip. It helps to stay there. It doesn't move. And it's small. It doesn't get in the way either. So it's like, it's very lightweight too. So that is pretty good. Tool, useful, cheap tool to have. So let's go and do the other side here to help to stabilize the button for right now too. And you go over. Again, the same distance as what we saw earlier. So come in and come out. Make sure it's on the other side of the toothpick. There we go. And you need to make sure that all go through There's no lumpiness, nothing stay like that. So if you have that over here happening, what you just go and do, you just pull on each little strand, just like so, and then it lies nice and flat. So because you do like the 4 strand of thread like that, you don't need to sew so many times. So as I say, it helps to save some times. So you just go back where you did it once and you did it again another time. Okay, nice and good over here. And again, from underneath, you go to the other side here. So usually you try to go in the same place where you had your button done. So, and then you go back over there. And that is plenty enough. You don't want to make it too bulky. So it's nice and flat over here. So what you do when you have done that, because you have 4 strands of thread, you just go back through the fabric, but not through the whole of the button. So just over here like so. And you pull it out. And then what you do, now you can just remove your Q-tips, and it gives you some room over here. And that room is very important to have, because now we are going to twist it to create a shank. Okay, so we did just enough right here. And what you do, you just go and put it through the fabric. Very important. Okay. And then here, what I like to do to secure it again, I just like to go one more time. And it should be nice and clean, because you go usually at the same place where you come in and out of your holes over there, of the buttons holes. So that makes it nice and clean when you do that. And you try to keep the same amount. So I have went through once, and I like to do my knot. So over here I like to do one knot, and then I like to do another knot. So slow motion, as some people like to know how I do that over here. I kind of control my thread, and I like to put my thumb or my nail right where I want the knot to be. So it secures it in place. I can let go, and then I can just pull on that, and I just bring the knot where I want them. So again, I want to cut it not too close, because if I cut it too close, it's where the knot is going to get undone. So I like to leave it a little less than 1/4 inch for this type of thread, and that is good. If it was a nylon thread, I would leave like a good inch, because nylon is more slippery and all. So this is pretty good, and there it is. We have the button, one of the button with the 4 holes, and we have a shank here. So let's see a different type of button now. And for the 2 holes over here, button is the same exact way that what we did for the 4 holes too. So it's very nice and easy and simple. We have to raise it up also with the Q-tips, the toothpicks. Oh, that's good. So now, because this is exactly the same as that, I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to show you on how to do this one over here. So again, I got my thread ready, and it's a 4 strand of thread again. So that's pretty good. So what I do, I go in the back again to start it, the same as earlier. There we go. And what I like to do, I'll just show it a little bit closer here. I like to have at least 2 strands, like half and half, you know. And I just go through it and kind of secures the knot, so it prevents it from going through the fabric. And then just next to it, I put my needle going all the way through. And then I'm ready to use this one. That is very simple. It's just this way, going through. Usually you like to do that exactly the same place where you came out. You put back in, pull it, make sure it's nice, nice and tight. You don't want it to be loose, you want it to be nice and tight. So again, as you see where I had my thread coming out earlier, I go exactly in the same place. So I'm not a 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch away, I'm just exactly at the same place right there. So it makes it a nice clean job. And again, I go back where I came was earlier. So I did it already. That is already like a piece of thread there, so that's pretty good, and I just did it twice. So now I do exactly the same thing. I just go secure it a little bit over here, and then I do my knot. So I kind of take my fingers, hold it, go and make a knot, and where we want it very close to there, I secure my knot there where I want it. I hold it, I'll let it go with my fingers, and I just pull on that thread. So this is just bring the knot exactly where I want the knot to be. So again, I like to do 2 knots, make sure that it's nice and secure. Okay, and again, I bring the knot, as you see here, right close to it, hold it, and it's right on top of each other like that. Perfect. So now we just need to cut it like that, and it's done. Now you know how to put the buttons together, 4 holes or 2 holes or with a shank already. So let's try it again, and if you need to see the video again and again and again, just let's play it again. And I hope that helps you to not be scared with buttons. They are something that is pretty easy and simple, but at least you know how to make it nice and clean. So have fun and see you in the next lesson. Thank you.